guys, welcome to It's Possible. This is where we bring you stories of young people, and we hope that their stories will come out and be a source of encouragement to somebody out there. And today I'm joined by our guests. Nitamuuliza introduce.
Naitwa Varis Luchamuzi. Hiyo ndio jina yangu. Kitambulisho. Luchamuzi. Hiyo jina ni unique. Asante sana, nashukuru. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yes. I'm going to be something more about umetokea side gani?
Oh, so for most people who don't know, people have interacted with a lot. So I am originally Ugandan. I'm originally Ugandan. I'm from Jinja. Lakini nimekuwa Mkenya.
Unapigaga kura Kenya? Kura tunatafuta bana.
Usiseme na nguvu.
Sawa.
But yeah, so I am originally from Uganda.
Yeah.
But I'm in Kenya. I'm still trying to get that citizenship. But I've not been lucky. Hopefully, I'm going to get a woman here, get a wife. Then we'll get the citizenship.
Siko umejipanga?
Because hii ingine nimejaribu imekataa. You have to be
strategic,
clever about it.
So how come ulitoka Uganda ukakuja Kenya?
Wow. That's an interesting story. So, challenges of life. Back home I was already living in the streets. So I left Jinja.
Yeah.
I went to the streets of Kampala. So I was already living in the streets, and then, but I was small time playing football in the streets.
Yeah.
So one day this guy, a truck driver, he comes and asks me like, "Yo, would you want to go to Kenya? Because I hear that Kenyans actually pay kids school fees for playing football." That guy didn't need to tell me twice. So I came to Kenya on board a truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the hope that utajoin.
With the hope that I'm going to join a school and go back, then now play football and go to school. That's how I came to Kenya.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that. On a trailer truck. Carrying oil.
Sasa ukafika Kenya.
Sasa nikafika Kenya.
So what happened? Did you join school or what happened?
Which school? I joined school, but not school. So what happened is, we got to Nairobi.
Yeah.
And then on a river road. So this guy parked his truck around Ngara.
Yeah.
Yeah, this day is Najua Nairobi, so I know it is in Ngara. And then we walked into town. He had some sort of packages delivering. There used to be a Kampala coach office.
Yeah.
Somewhere down on River Road.
Yeah.
So we get to River Road. There's a place on River Road. If you go down River Road from Odeon, at the T junction, there's a junction.
Yeah.
Now, on your right, actually straight ahead is where the Kampala coach office used to be. Then on the left, there's a duka la kukopesha. It's still there till today. So we got there, this guy told me, "You stand here.
Yeah.
Let me take this to the office.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you." He never came back.
What? He
never came back. And
what did you do?
I had never
From
seen
the streets of Kampala, now you're in the streets
now
of
I'm in the
Nairobi,
streets of Nairobi.
and
First of all, culture shock was crazy because I had never seen so many people. You know, Nairobi has a lot of people, especially River Road. So everyone was just passing me. I'm just there confused.
Yeah.
So I'm standing. Yeah. And then all of a sudden people start running. People just start running. Whoa! So me, I'm just standing there. Before I knew it, someone just grabs my hand.
Yeah.
And then I'm literally thrown over into this truck. Yeah, so that particular day, unlucky for me, they were doing a roundup on street children. So I was picked up as a street kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happened?
I and then now we were taken.
This should be Kanjo people.
Yeah, Kanjo. Yeah, so we were taken.
Your first day in Nairobi.
My first day in Nairobi.
You don't know anything.
I don't know anything. I don't know anyone.
Nowhere.
But Swahili sijui.
But how old were you that time?
At that time I was 12.
What?
So
now you're in the hands of Kanjo.
Now I'm in the hands of Kanjo.
Yeah.
So we're taken down City Hall, I think, one of the dungeons. We didn't even stay for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then we were taken to Kabete. In Kabete, there's a juvenile detention camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, nikaanza maisha ya Kabete.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So how long were you
in Kabete?
In
Kabete, I was there for... I was in Kabete for 3 years.
3 years?
I was in Kabete for 3 years.
Kwani nini ufanyikanga huko?
Kusoma.
By force.
By force. Kusoma by force. Occasional beating.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I mean, it's their own way of straightening someone. But the truth is I didn't come out of there straight. I came out of there very crooked. Extremely crooked.
Huko ulipatana na wengine wabaya hapa
kuna huko ndo nilipatana na watu. That's where now I learned Swahili vizuri.
Yeah.
You know. And of course, you know, the people who are in detention, or the kids who are in the juvenile schools. What would be the right word to say? It's kids who have attitude problems, you know. Yeah. It's kids who literally need love and a different form of correction. You know, which was not there. You know, because we were already being treated as outcasts, you know. We're being treated as, and see, personally for me, it was a case of wrong. I was just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So I was unfairly, you know, hata sijafanya kitu. I'm just, you know.
Actually, you are trying to survive.
I'm just trying.
Umejipata mahali pabaya, you are trying to survive.
Sasa ndio huyo mimi.
Yeah.
So I was in juvenile for like 3 years. And then I was released. When I was released, I had made some friends. Who, when we released now, we went out together, you know. I didn't know still anyone in Kenya except these guys that I was with in June. So we had to go to Kibra. So watu nilipatana nao walikuwa naishi Kibra. Hiyo siku ilikuwa Kibera. Siku hizi I see it's being called Kibra. Sasa sisi hao. We started now living in Kibera. You know, hustle here and there, trying to make ends meet. Literally.
One of the slums in Nairobi.
One of the biggest slums. In fact, I think it's the biggest slum in Nairobi. Because the other one, Mathare and Soweto, they're not as big.
And I'm sure ulienda huko juu kwa na choice. Hao ndo watu unajua.
Sasa they're the only people I know, man. So, mimi huyo. Sasa Kibra.
Sasa maisha ikaanza Kibra.
Sasa maisha imeanza, you know. No parents. So we're just living amongst ourselves. Nyumba ilikuwa 30 bob.
Nyumba?
Pande ama? Pande. Usipolipa hauna mahali pa kulala. So you'd do things, you know. We'd collect. So we started off collecting trash. Then metal. Anything that would get you money. So that at least ukule. Na ulale.
Unauza hii scrap, chupa.
You know. Kwa sababu sina nyumbani ya kwenda. You know. So some of the friends wenye tulitoka Juvie, they had houses. But there were so many in one house. Like I remember one of my friends, there were like 8 of them in a single room.
What?
And then plus wewe.
You know.
So even now, me and him, we now just started doing our own things.
Yeah.
So Pole Pole, ndio sisi.
So right now in Kibra, are you still playing football?
Yeah, I'm still playing once in a while, you know. Because it was the only recreation I had.
Yes.
It was the only recreation I loved. So once in a while, ukipata watu wanacheza ball, we play. I didn't know then that it would be a big deal for me, the football. So I was just playing, you know. To pass time.
Now here you are. This should be now around 15 years, 16
now I'm 15, I'm 16, yeah.
So how was it now, your time? Did you find any other thing to do your time?
Slowly, you start getting into crime. You know, you're not in school, you have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything constructive.
You need money.
You need money. You need to survive. You need food to eat. You've begged. You've literally begged.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that people don't have, but now it's also challenging for people because even for them the economy is not as kind.
Yeah.
So they can't give you every day. So eventually you start taking. You know. Now people don't even look at you.
Yeah.
So you kind of form an act, you know. The thing is, I never felt pity for myself. So that whole thing of, I have to, you know, I don't know, that thing didn't augur well with me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not feeling bad for myself. So hii ya wengine hii ya kuenda, you're trying to put up such a pity act. Sisi tulisema hii hapana. So sisi would just ask you like, yo, mambo, mimi sina chakula, you know.
Yeah.
But I think our approach was very strong. So guys were like, you know, first of all, you're a teenager, you know. You're not a child. So you're not appealing. Your face is not appealing. You know? You're not appealing. So I was like, you know, by that time, tumejaribu mjengo.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let me tell you, there's a building on Oledume Road.
Yeah.
On Oledume Road, there's a film company there called Ginger Inc. When you go on Oledume Road, there's a building. I literally built that building. Mjengo. Every time I pass that building, I look at it. I'm like, what? Yani, I can say, I have sweated to build this building. One day I'll afford it. Then I'll go live in it. I built it. I'm living in it. Yeah. But so eventually we started now petty crimes, you know. You start pickpocketing, you start, you just start doing unorthodox things to survive.
So how far did you go, if you don't mind sharing this?
We went really far, man. We went really far with it. We started with petty crime.
Yeah.
Eventually you graduate, you know, because you get to join a gang. You know the thing about crime?
This time si wale vijana mlitoka na sasa mmejoin.
Eventually now unapatana na wengine, you know, it's a network.
Yeah.
Crime is a network. So you meet someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone. You know. And then now you join gangs. You know, because with crime, there's toughs. Where's toka tu hapa? You are going you there's a tough, you know, there's a gang for that area. You know, so unless they know you, you can't operate. You know.
Yeah.
So you have to. It's also strategic. Crime is also very strategic, and that's what people don't understand. Is you have to know who operates in which area, so that it makes it easy for you to survive. And lazima wakatie keki, you know. Like if I'm coming to an area that's not mine, and I'm able to do a job, then whoever who's doing oversight for that area has to be paid.
It sounds like they look at it like business.
Bro, it's business. Ya kiwanja. You know, umeenda kucheza. Literally would say tunaenda mchezo. So umeenda kucheza kiwanja si yako. The same way. Like even now, there's so many football turfs around, right? If you go play in that turf, you have to pay.
Yeah.
It's the same way.
Hey.
Hey. So we got into gangs. Eventually, now the thing about gangs is now gangs introduce you to weapons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because now gangs have to protect themselves from other gangs.
Yeah.
So there's knives, you know. And then eventually now we got into guns. You know, small arms. By that time now I was a carjacker. I was a serious carjacker.
What?
Serious man.
Hey.
Yeah. I was a serious. That time I think I was numb. I had no emotion. No emotion whatsoever. Because I'd reached a point in life where I figured that no one cared.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody cares.
Yeah.
So what do I care?
Yeah.
If no one cares about me, why should I care about you when I'm stealing from you? I don't care about you. All I care is what I want. That's all I cared for.
Every man for himself.
Every man for himself. No, it's me and my gang. Like you're so loyal to your gang. It's your family.
Umepata identity.
That's your family.
Actually, you're calling it family.
Hey, that's your family.
Hey.
Everybody else.
Hao ndio watu walikukubali tu.
Hao ndio watu wamekukubali for who you are, you know. Everyone else, you know, you're trying to show everyone else that you're someone. They don't look at you like you're someone.
Yeah.
Like this guy is just in the street.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What?
So, crazy.
So where did the turnaround come in now?
Okay, I've had like...
Because I believe you're no longer in the gang.
Sasa. So the thing about crime is, I wouldn't say like I was a very intelligent criminal. Of course, you get arrested here and there, but...
You arrested?
Yeah, you get arrested. You get arrested. As a criminal, you get arrested.
Na unatokaje?
But the family has ways.
Yeah,
the family knows someone who knows someone. When you're released. So also with crime, you have to be in the right family.
Yeah.
If you're not in the right family, you can't live for long. Yeah. So I would say we were lucky. The gang we joined at that time had a bit of influence and power. So even when you get arrested, there's a way you'd get back out. And then you'd have to lay low for a bit. Alafu unarudi. Because at the end of the day, even with crime, and I always tell people till today, is you have to pay for it. The reason why people are constantly committing crimes is they have to pay for it. Yeah.
Pay in terms of...
So it's I don't know if people you know, people watch mafia movies and things like this. That's the same thing happening here. There's a boss.
Oh yeah.
That boss has to be paid for protection. You know, even if you've not done anything, he's protecting you because you're a criminal.
Yeah.
So you have to pay him.
So kama hujamlipa kuna shida.
Na hiyo pesa si kidogo. You know, these guys don't ask for 20 shillings. You know. So you have to commit the crime to get the money to pay this guy for protection.
Na uache na zako.
These policemen have to be paid for protection.
That's serious.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So yeah. So my first turnaround, I guess, was, so people who know Nairobi Baptist really well would remember there's a time Kirk Franklin came to do a concert. Okay, so let me put you into context first of all. So our area of crime, if you know Ngong Road well, there's the City Mortuary roundabout.
Yeah.
Then there's that depression, like, and you go up towards what's that place called? China Center.
Yes.
So that was our area. It was called Nairobi area. So that was my gang's area of operation. Hapo ndo tulifanya mambo. You know. So there's a time word got round that there's an international artist going to come. Sasa kwetu hiyo ni duka. You know, because we know it's an international artist. That means many people will come for a concert.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, we even bought tickets.
Yeah. Sounds like a movie.
Bro, we even bought tickets.
Eh.
You know, like these days, I can say it freely, you know.
Yeah.
We bought tickets. We went for the concert. But sasa sisi tuko concert. Lakini tuko shopping. So we're just looking around. Yeah, sisi tuko shopping. It's like how you go to a shop and you're just seeing now products, you know. Sasa sisi tuko shopping. All 8 of us. My gang had 8 people.
Yeah.
Tuko shopping, literally.
Yeah.
Just looking around. Then before, like 45 minutes before the concert ended, as we exit, so we're going to place ourselves in the area, you know. So, yeah, na tukafanya mambo. If people went to that concert, will tell you for a fact that after that concert there was trouble outside that gate. So much trouble. But I don't know. I think after that, the next day, literally the next day, I was there around DOD. There's a stage up at DOD. Kawangware there. So I was going to see some friend of mine. Sasa nimesimama hapo. And then I can see people pointing at me at the stage. Sasa nashindwa watu ni nini, you know. Then one of them comes to me and he's like, hey, I recognize you from yesterday. So me, I'm like, what do you, unasema nini? Then the guy's like, yeah, yesterday nyinyi watu mlituibia. Well, me, I've never been scared. I was scared. You know, you're scared, but you're not showing. You know, because you have this macho thing that. So you're scared, but you're like shit, because you're in. You know, it's like a life and death moment right there.
Yeah.
Because if these people just shout Muizi, that's it.
Yeah.
It's mob mentality.
Yeah.
Mob violence.
Yeah.
So, but by that time, I also had a gun.
You
know, I was walking around with it. So when this guy comes to me, he's like, I was like, kama ni kuenda, kama leo ndo siku ya kuenda, siendi peke yangu,
acha tupambane.
So nimenyamaza. So
you guys, let me take you back. During the time you are shopping, you didn't wear a mask or anything?
For what? As we never wore masks.
Sura ngumu.
Me, I was telling you, we didn't care. I didn't care that time. What was I caring for? Nothing. I had nothing to lose. You know. Or rather, that's what I thought. That I had nothing to lose. Sasa amekuja ameniambia, mlituibia jana, lakini what I want to tell you is I've forgiven you.
These are normal Kenyan. Si azikari or what? Ni mtu tu
amekuja. Ni mtu tu mpaka mimi I'm like, sasa huyu. I mean, recognize me. Sasa mimi nataka kukwambia jana mlituibia nini, and I can recognize you. And the way he told me, you know, like I could see him with a group of friends, and then he leaves his friends, he comes towards me.
He comes to you.
Alone.
Yeah.
Then he pulls me, he's like, mambo niaje, pop. Then now he starts talking to me, you know.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, for the first time in my life, I was like, what the hell? Like, what's happening? You know. And then he tells me, I've forgiven you, you know. Then he invites me to church. Then he tells me, sasa, wewe kuja church Sunday. So me, I'm like, first of all, me, I'm already planning an exit strategy. I'm not even listening. Like, I can hear what they are saying, but I'm not listening. Really. I'm not paying attention. Me, I want to go, you know. So I'm just like, may go, you know. But you know, I go home and I'm like, that was very, when I'm even going towards Kawangware, I'm like, That's very interesting.
Eh.
So by that time, though, with the money from crime, I've taken myself back to school.
Ah.
You know, because me, I loved reading.
Yeah.
So I've taken myself back to school. But now, you know, the consistency for school is not there.
Yeah.
And then also another reason why I've gone to school is because of football. So bado nilikuwa nacheza mtaa. Now there were some coaches who used to come to scout.
Yeah.
Coaches have come to scout. So I was scouted. Wamenipeleka shule Jericho, Ofafa Jericho. So I'm there.
Yeah.
So once in a while I go to school. Sometimes I don't. You know. Like I was let me tell you, I was literally going to school for football. That's it. I couldn't
not to read.
Like all those other things, like this hour, but
wanafunzi hawakuoni sana sana, like time ya games unatokea.
Ningeenda class only because I needed to do that so that I would play.
Oh.
Like I never really cared about
class.
I never really cared. It was just that I need to sit here so that games time I would play.
Yeah. That is high school.
That is high school. So it was quite interesting. But then now the biggest turn was...
So, but then did you go to church after the guy invited you?
Yeah. But I went after like 2 weeks. So I met him again. Randomly again. So I never went that Sunday he invited me. I never went. Then after like 2 weeks, again, we just bump into each other around Prestige. Then he's like, hey, wait, you haukukuja kanisa nini. So that time I was actually with my gang. But now, you know, so the thing about in the gang, we would never walk like together.
Yeah.
We are together, but you wouldn't know we are together.
Yeah.
Like in fact, if we stand in a stage, we would stand in a stage, but you'd think we are different. You'd think all of us are just, but we are together. So we're walking, then this guy comes close, you know, and everyone now panics because technically this guy has broken protocol of how we walk. How nobody ever used to get that close.
Yes.
So can't even push him, you know. Like, so I put him aside. I'm like, who are you? Then he's like, oh, unikumbuki, DOD. I told you to come to church. And then now my gang leader was like, hey, Malzana, because we were going somewhere.
Yeah.
So I tell him, I'll come. When? So he tells me, you come Sunday. Youth service. I'm like, sir. At the time I was 16 now, 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, sawa. So eventually I do go. But I go with a friend of mine. Sasa tumeenda church hapo. It was called Jiwe. That service was called Jiwe for the youth. So tumeenda, first of all, we don't. Now we know the church.
Yeah.
Because remember,
area of operation.
We are no, because of it's area of operation 1. We know the outside of the church.
Yeah.
But we also know the inside because kumbuka tulienda concerts. So tulifanya reke. You know?
Yeah.
Before we did the Kirk Franklin thing, tulienda your church. We looked around. We you know your area. You have to know so that in case anything happens, you know how to exit. Sasa tunajua but hatujui where the services are held.
Yeah.
Sasa tumeenda one random Sunday with a friend of mine. Sasa tumeingia hapo, tumeangalia, tumeuliza youth service ni wapi, tumeonyeshwa pale, tumeingia. Yeah, so tuko hapo church nini. I won't lie to you. That first time, I was just looking at phones. I'm like, this is money. This is money. And then that guy has seen me. He's so happy. He's seen me so happy.
Yeah, umekuja leo.
Umekuja.
Kumbe, umekeep promise.
Umekeep promise. You even stole phones that day in church.
Watu walipoteza tu simu.
Yeah. Tukaenda. Sasa So I was telling you about my turnaround. So we were deep into carjacking. You know the crazy thing? Umeona movie inaitwa Half-Life? Half-Life. Right? I don't know, but strangely, we always believe like it was written. It's like someone knew our story, and then wrote that movie. Because half of what I'm going to tell you now, someone might think it's from that story, but it's not.
This is reality.
This is reality. So we were into everything. Carjacking, muggings. We were not everything. Now we didn't care at all. Anything that would get us money. And then also, crime makes you start living a very expensive life. You know, because with one job you're getting so much money, and it's untaxed, and you know you're going to get it again tomorrow. So you start, just that's being you live an exorbitant life, because you can afford anything and everything at any time. So also, I think we stayed in the crime because of that lifestyle. Now, the weird thing is we never really moved away. You never really move away from... Because we never really moved away from Kibra. We're still living in Kibra. But we are living large in Kibra. So, Asa, there's a day we get an order. Now, carjacking would get orders. Someone tells you, we want a premium. Or we want... What were the cars that time? That time we were given an order for a Legacy. A Subaru Legacy. So what would happen is we would be given an order, then we'd walk. Ile ya kwanza tunapatana nayo. Ndio hiyo. It was a very high, fast life. So sasa see, like I told you, our area of operation is where? Hapo. It was called Nairobi area that time. Nairobi area. Tumetoka, tumepiga Prestige. My gang had 8 members, remember? So we're walking down. So 4 of us on that side, another 4 on this side. But you were walking in such a way, if someone is looking at you, they will know you guys are together.
Atadhani kila mtu
kila mtu ako shughuli yake, you know. And then we're all dressed differently, you know. Everyone is an actor in the game. Sasa tumeteremuka. Then tuko hapo, what is that stage called? After Coptic. Your stage iko next. I don't know. Mimosa. Mimosa. But sasa ya kwenda town, not hii ingine. Sasa tuko hapo. We see a Legacy because there was a bit of traffic. So we see a Legacy. So signal, you know. And then we start walking towards it. You know, so what would happen is wengine wangeenda mbele, and then so they would do like a screening. Waone gari iko ndani nini. Then they would signal to us so we would know. So by the time we're coming, we know who's seated where and how they're sitting. So we know how to pounce. You know. Sasa our gang leader, so as we are doing your shopping, the gang leader tells us, hapana, hii ni mzee. Sasa on the opposite side, tukiangalia huko juu, hapo, sasa the city mortuary roundabout, but on the other side now going towards town, we see another Legacy. And it looks a bit new. We decided wachana na hii ni mzee. Tumeenda mbele. Sasa tumeenda mbele. So what happened that day is sisi tuka cross barabara. Remember the KMTC? Ukuta hiyo ya KMTC. Sasa mimi na one of my guys, we got that side. These other guys are on this side. Right? So the plan was wachukue gari, wazunguke roundabout, they They pick us, we go all of us together.
Yeah.
Hey! Hey! Hey, that day. Gwe. Sasa sisi tuko on this side of the road.
Yeah.
So we are seeing from that side. So sisi tulienda haraka ndo tufike this other side, si ndio? Sasa wale wako hiyo side nyingine.
Yeah.
And then now we can see tunaona kiongozi akiengage. Right? Sasa kitu sisi hatukujua was this vehicle. Sijui it was for police. Me, I never know. I still don't know. But I think it was police. Because all I remember seeing first I hear gunshots.
Yeah.
Right? Which was very unlike us. We never shot.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only time we shot was once. But we never shot. It wasn't our principle.
Yeah.
Us would just scare.
Yeah.
May I remember hearing gunshots. So as we were just standing, so we hear gunshots, we turn, now we face the vehicle.
Yeah.
Me first naona kiongozi wetu ameanguka. Wengine pia pop, everyone is down. Sasa the guy I was with was brothers with the leader of the gang. So automatically defense.
Yeah.
Because you are seeing. So he pulls out his gun and starts shooting back. What does that bring? They also shoot this side.
Yeah.
Me start running. So I run. So if you go down that road, Bagadi way,
yes,
there's a bridge. What I know most people don't know is under that bridge, najua watu hawajaijua, but under that bridge there's a road. If you go under that bridge and go straight back, you get into the mortuary. Sasa mimi nimekimbia. Nimeingia kwa bridge like I'm going towards Kenyatta the flats.
Yeah.
Then nimeingia hapo chini, nimekimbia, nimerudi
kwa mortuary.
Kwa mortuary. Nimekimbia. There was so in the if you go down, I don't know if many people, I don't know, maybe the people who are watching this. If you go to the mortuary down there, there's a building. G6. Down there. Me nimekimbia, nimeingia hapo, there's a mortuary attendant there. Me have pulled out the gun. I'm like, bro, mi sina shida na wewe. Lakini usiongee, nyamaza. Mi nitaenda. Lakini usiongee. So by that time, now the whole area is full of police. That time, bro, it was morning. Ilikuwa saa 5.
What?
Saa 5 mchana. Sasa mimi niko hapo. Now I'm confused. Then the man who's there, the attendant, is telling me I'm bleeding. So me, I'm holding a gun to his face. Then the guy's like, hey, but you're bleeding. So no, that's when now you're like, yeah? So I start looking at myself and I'm like, hey, I'm bleeding. So I lift my shirt and I'm like, wow, okay. There's a wound. And then also now, because adrenaline now has worn down.
Yeah.
That's when I realized, I'm like, wait, but I'm also bleeding on my leg. Yeah. So that day I got shot twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ukikimbia yote ukikimbia sasa.
Yeah. But like luckily luckily like on my leg it passed through.
Yeah.
And I'm so lucky it didn't touch the bone.
Wow.
And then also here, I was also shot on my waist. But it also passed through. Didn't touch a bone.
Wow.
So the guy takes, I don't even know what he took, but he just takes something, weka, So I was leaving that place 9 at night. From 11 in the morning. Usiku saa 3. Ndo natoka. I'm going home. You know. Fika kwa nyumba. You know. I'm still bleeding. Because now that guy just tried to stop the bleeding a little. But now, you know, because of walking, I've gotten back home, I'm still bleeding again.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing, let me tell you, the crazy thing about Kibra.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about Kibra is so blessed with anything you might think of. There's an expert in Kibra. It's a plumber, if it's a doctor, if it's... Heck, I even think pilots are there. But they just don't have jobs. So it was very easy to just get someone to handle my wounds. But that was the time when I really now started thinking. I'm like, you know, because out of 8, only 2 of us survived. Out of 8 that day, only 2 of us survived.
Wow.
And I saw it in the news. You know, saw it in the news. You know how you're sitting now in the and you're watching news with people, and they're talking about you, and the people you're with don't know.
Yeah.
You know, seeing 6 gunmen shot by police. But you see, to you, those are your friends. They're not just gunmen. These are people I've lived with. These people I've lived with in the same house. These are people who have called my family for 2 years. Not just gunmen.
Yeah.
But that day now, Sasa, I was just like, Abba, I really need to think. Yeah, that was like my biggest turnout. But kuacha ni ngumu, let me tell you. Kuacha ni ngumu. Because you don't have anything, you don't have a job, you know, there's no one guiding you away from it.
Yeah.
But now what I did is I went and I threw my firearm hapo kwa dam kwanza. I don't know if you know the dam, Nairobi Dam. So if you pass from Kibra na nyuma, nyuma ya high rise huko, unaingia kwa dam. So I went and I was like, I'm done with this, you know.
Yeah.
I was like about 3 months after that incident. So sasa kidogo I started paying a little focus on school. That time, now I've been expelled from school. I was expelled because now kumbuka siendi class. Naenda tu kucheza ball. So I've been expelled from school, you know. And I was expelled from school like a year before I did my exams. So sasa nikaenda nika-enroll tu shule ingine hapo huko Kawangware. You know, because I just wanted to finish school. So I enrolled to some school in Kawangware called Bethel. And then now I've been introduced to football in church. Sasa mtu ametuambia, kujeni hapa kanisa kuna ball nini. So I've started coming to church lakini chini ya maji. Because I'm like, someone might recognize me. And then church was also, the environment around church was very new to me. It was very new to see someone genuinely care about you. You know, someone asking you, how are you? It's only nobody used to ask me. Guys, mambo poa. But now people are genuinely interested. Mambo, where do you live? Unatoka wapi? What do you do? They were those questions were making me very uncomfortable because I was never used to. Even till today, those questions are still uncomfortable to me because nimeishi for a long time alone. So even these days when someone still asks, it's uncomfortable, but I'm learning now to get the hang of it.
Yeah.
Sasa mimi nataka tu nicheze ball niende. Hizi maswali sitaki. Hata nauliza so uko kwa BS. I'm like, sasa what is that? Are you in a discipleship group? I'm like, sasa hizi. Yeah. But sasa nimeanza kucheza ball kidogo hapo. Maisha inaendelea. Tukaenda trip na hiyo team ya ball. Sasa hiyo team ya ball kwa kanisa inaitwa Bethel. Bethel FC. Sasa Bethel FC tukaenda mission. Kwale. Kwale huko. So me I'm just like, wow. Nimepelekwa Kwale na kanisa. And then now technically I have a new family because now the football team, you know, is now a new family, you know.
Yes.
And they're always asking unafanya nini, you know.
Yeah.
One of the guys I was in with the gang, tuko na yeye hapo. Anaitwa Obi. Tuko na yeye.
Pia alikuwa anacheza mpira.
Ndio goalkeeper. So, wewe ile tunaangaliana tu lakini ndio uko hapa. You know, the irony of life, man. Sasa tumeenda Kwale. Sasa huko Kwale tumekaa tumeongea. Then we are told that the church can actually help us with school if we are having challenges with school, and we're like, hiya. Okay. So actually it's the church that helped me finish my Form 4.
Wow.
Because now the church paid.
Yeah.
Unakumbuka nilienda kwa kashule huko Kawangware tu, you know.
Yeah.
Sasa wakalipa
school
fees huko.
Yeah.
Nikamaliza sasa.
Yeah.
That to me meant a lot because I was like, for once, someone has really, to me, actually the word I used was bothered. Someone has bothered about my life, you know. And then kumbuka, I came from a place of always paying for something.
Yeah.
You know. So when the church paid my school, I remember at that time we had a conversation with she was called Liz. Liz Mangeli. She was the social worker then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she paid my fees, nini. So to me, I was like, let me play football for them. Like, it's the only way I can pay. Kumbuka me, I'm just used to mtu akinifanyia kitu na mlipa. Staki, you know. Staki mambo ingi. So I was like, me, I'll play. But in my head, I'm like, I'm playing for who? The church. I'm just like, I'm playing for this is the only way I can pay. So let me give them back because like this is the only way I know. Let me give back. So nimemaliza shule, and then now I'm told, so I've started coming to church mara moja. You know. Hizi zingine niko tu kumtaa, so I'm trying to reform.
Yeah.
I'm having a conflict. I'm really trying to reform. You know. Sasa na nikaambiwa na that leader for youth ministry then was Christian Ogutha, Pastor Christian. So Christian tells us there's a program for people who's finished high school. So me I'm like, so what do you mean? Anaambia sasa inaitwa ex-candidate program. So me I'm like, sasa hii ex-can mtu anafanya nini? Like, sasa unakuja, we teach you about life skills. We just have a good time to help you transition and help you discover. You know. And I'm like, okay. But the truth is, me, I used to come there because there was free food. Because I didn't have food.
Yeah.
You know? So again, I never paid attention, which I should have. I never paid attention that much. I used to come there because I knew, sasa kwa kanisa neza, like I would use my time
Yeah.
It was helping me in my reformation.
Yeah.
But I never told anyone that time that it's helping me. Sasa nakuja, kuna pool table, we are mingling with people. Saa zingine they bring someone to talk to us, career talks, nini. Me, I don't even understand those things, you know. Me niko tu hapo najua we'll play pool, we'll have a good time. Watanipea juice na biscuit. Njaa ipungu.
Siku imeisha.
You know. Sasa maisha ikaendelea tu. Yeah, nikafanya hiyo ex-candidates program. So slowly they used to tell me that they see a leader in me. I'm like, what? You know. You know. So I've met young people who are the same, you know. Our talents. I've started dancing in church. Stuff like that. They realize I'm a good actor, so they're getting me in church plays and things like that. But my Achilles heel was I never still paid attention to now groom these things to be, you know. I was like, this time I'm here is I'm paying back. I never really thought that, you know, with all these things I could make something, and I'm also doing something. I was just like, I'm paying back. So after that, nikamaliza hiyo ex-candidate program, graduated. I even now they enrolled me in a program also called Sauti School of Media. Nikafanya. Sasa mimi ndo huyo. I have audiovisual expertise, but I don't know where to use it. You know, because one, I'm having great self-esteem issues, even within myself. I just don't have the self-belief that I'm cut out to be something. Now I told me, my foundation is bad, so I'm just going to be bad. So even with the good that the church is trying to morph me into, Sioni, I'm just because you see, after church, I'm just a regular ruffian. But when I'm coming to church, I have to hide it. You know, I have to hide it. So people don't know who I am. But so I have to hide it. So guys are just like, oh, this guy is actually really good, he's trustworthy, but I don't trust myself. Unajua? Nikitoka nje, there are places when I go, people are still so afraid of me. They're like, oh, this is that guy. Unajua? I can't sit in a place. I even sit in a place people go because they know my history. They're like, hey, oh, this is ule jamaa karibu na you never know, maybe utakujiwa. You know. So church was my safe haven. Huko hakuna mtu anajua. Sasa tumeendelea. Then I went now to another camp called Catch Camp. What was that? College. What was that thing? I forgot it. But it was for now colleges. You know. Now, these guys that I was with in the ex-candidates program, so most of them have started joining university. You know. Most of them are doing driving, they're doing university, most of them are getting into uni, most of them are getting into programs, they're doing computers and IT. Hao wameanza ku? Me, I'm just there. You know, sijielewi bado, I'm just like, so what next? You know. Sasa, I was like, I have to run away. My solution has always been running away. So I was like, hey, these people are getting too attached to me. I can't do this. Because remember, I had great self-esteem issues. And I never really wanted to disappoint. So it got a point where I was like, I'm going to disappoint. So I ran away from church. And now when guys were asking me, oh wait, but I did a first aid course. I got some scholarship in a tournament. Played a tournament, We had a tournament. I played a tournament, and then after the tournament, a tournament was being done by Red Cross. No, St. John's. That tournament was being done by St. John's. Sasa tumeshinda tournament. Wanatupea pesa. Me, I told that guy, mi sitaki pesa. Hii pesa haitanisaidia. How else can you help me without this money? So the guy's like, He's like, wewe fanya hivi, kuja kwa. Unajua ofisi zetu? I'm like, mi sijui. He's like, wewe kuja town, karibu na professional center. Ofisi yetu iko hapo mahali. Utaona scouts, then utaona sisi. Wewe kuja unikumbushe kesho asubuhi.
Yeah.
So I go there the next day, and he enrolls me in a first aid class. So I did the first aid class, the first one, the second module.
Yeah.
So I was actually so good at it, they recommended me to do a paramedic course.
Wow.
But sina pesa, kufanya paramedic, so ikaisha. Your story ikaisha hapo. Sasa kumbuka, these guys I did excans with.
Yeah.
Right? This group that I did excans with. Now most of them are now in university.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So tukikuja church Sunday, you know, you're meeting someone on Sunday, they're always talking about what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mi shule kwaje?
Hiyo maswali sasa.
Then hiyo maswali kianza mimi napote. Hiyo maswali kianza because mimi sina jibu.
Yeah.
I don't have. And I'd reached a point I didn't want to be a burden because I felt like the church has offered me so much. So I was like, I don't want to be a burden. So nimeanza kuhepa. But I'm still playing. Remember, I'm still playing for the church team.
Yeah.
Bethel FC. You're playing an amateur league called Left Foot. So I'm still playing. I'm getting better now at football. Better because I'm still training where I'm living.
Yeah.
And I'm still playing. Now, what people don't know about my life at that time, is I'm back in the streets.
What?
I'm back in the streets. Because I have nowhere to live. I don't have a family. I can't afford that house. So I'm back in the streets. I'm really trying to get something. I'm really trying, but I'm back in the streets. But every time I come back, I don't tell people about that.
Yeah.
So, because I don't want to be a burden. So I'm hanging out with people. So I always used to come to church a lot because I knew. So pale kwa church, I would always be in church. And even people who will watch this, you know, I would always be visible in church around 2 o'clock. Because I realized 2 o'clock, they would serve tea for the staff. Na staff hawakunywa chai yote. Sasa maybe that was a way of also getting food.
Yeah.
So I would do my things, but around 2, I have to be around the church. So I would come na kunywa chai. At least hata hiyo siku nikienda nimekunywa chai.
Yeah.
You know, nikienda hata kwa nyumba, if I don't have money, at least have tea.
Yeah.
Nimekunywa kitu. You know. But I'm still playing football. So that year ends. Now surprisingly, the next year, so the league I was playing in had different teams.
Yeah.
So one of the teams in the league, one of the owners of that team called. After a game, he called me. Hey, mambo, it's okay. Sasa nataka nikuchukue ucheze timu yangu. It's like, yeah, nataka ukuje ucheze timu yangu. I'm 19 now, I'm going to 20. I still don't understand myself. So I'm like, oh, okay. Then he's like, I'll pay you. Every game will pay you. Remember, the church team is not paying us.
Yes.
So I quickly make the move. Because I'm like, yo, this is, you know. Yeah, and then now that's how I started playing football. So in that team where I was playing, now in my new team, it was called Rapid. So in my new team, the other players are actually playing in other leagues. Now that opens up my eyes.
Yes.
Because now we start talking, they're like, wait, but you're really good at this. How comes hauna team kwa league? I'm like, mimi sikuwa najua mtu atanipeleka kwa
league.
So one, of my teammates tells me, we fanya hivi, kesho asubuhi kuja twende na wewe kwa timu ya. So he used to play for a team called UN Tandaza. Sasa mimi nimeenda na yeye Tandaza. Surprisingly that day, Tandaza are playing a friendly match against a team called Wazito. Now Wazito are in Division 1. Asa tumefika, then the guy introduces me to the coach. Coach, nimekuja na huyu, ni Mganda, you know. So the coach is like, sawa. So surprising now what happens in that game is me nimeka. I've changed. But I know I'm not part of the team, so I'm timid. I'm just Then one of the players gets injured. Then the coach says, ulisema this guy of yours plays which position? Then this guy can play as a midfielder, attacking midfielder or a striker. Kuja ingia. Warm ingi. That game I scored 3 goals.
What? That's amazing.
That game I scored 3 goals. After that game, the coach of Wazito comes and tells me, kijana unacheza ball wapi? So me I tell him, me hata first of all leo ndo nimeletwa hii team. Leo ndo akasema hata usiende hiyo team. Kuja. Now that's how I joined Wazito.
Wow.
You know. Sasa now they are giving me contract, me sijui. I'm like,
you've never seen a contract before.
But so I joined Wazito.
You
know. But I'm still keeping tabs with my old teammates at Bethel. Bado tunaongea. You know, unaendeleaje nini? Mimi niko tu. They are happy because now they are seeing me go. You know, they are seeing me growing and they're like, siku hizi tunakuona Wazito. I'm like, najaribu, you know. So Wazito, I played Wazito. And I got an injury for like, at the time I got an injury for like a whole year. I tore a ligament in my knee. Nikakuwa nje. Sasa in Wazito, I started getting good money. Not a lot, but good money because I was getting like 20,000 shillings a month. Sasa unaona, now I'm off the streets.
Sure.
The first month I played for Wazito, I was still in the streets. But after 1 month now, at least niko na pesa, I can get a house for myself. Sasa nimeanza. So nikaanza kucheza Wazito pole. Let me take you back. So kumbuka ile camp nilienda? Ile ya colleges. So I actually gave my life to Christ in that camp.
Wow.
In 2012. Sasa nimeokoka sasa.
Uliokokea kwa camp.
Huko kwa camp huko. Lakini sijui kuokoka ni nini at time bado, lakini nimeokoka.
Ulisikiza ukasikia acha mimi
acha mimi. Sasa so I'm playing football. Now I'm just focusing on it because it's the only thing I can focus on. So I'm just focusing on it. Once in a while sasa ninajaribu kwenda pia theater kidogo, kufanya some acting, you know, kidogo hapa na pale. Sasa zile niko off. Na maisha sasa imeendelea sasa. I kind of have like a purpose. I kind of have a direction. You know, I'm like, okay, so I can actually do this and be good at it, you know. So nimecheza Wazito. Nikatoka Wazito nikaenda kucheza Somalia.
Somalia?
Nikatoka someone gave me a deal. I went to play in Somalia. And I came back again. Nikatoka Wazito, then I made a big break. So nikatoka Wazito nikaenda FC.
Wow. FC signed you.
Sasa FC signed me. What? After so FC signed me in 2018. See, that's like 7 years after I started playing football. Uko! You know? Consistency. I think consistency is very important. FC signed me. play for FC. A big team, you know. It's like, wow. Then the guys I was with, they were like, hey, jamaa sasa alifika huko. So by that time, in fact, most of the guys I was playing with at Bethel have stopped playing for that league. You know, now they are just playing for fun. You know. Lakini mimi sasa nimefika. Nimekuwa apex predator. No, I'm like, naenda nikienda. So yeah. Na sasa tuko hapa leo, you know.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Tuko hapa leo.
Wow.
Right now I'm not contracted to any team.
Yeah.
But I'm still playing. I'm acting now. Yeah.
You're acting?
Now I'm acting also. Now I'm acting also. I've done 4 Kenyan movies. I've done a movie called Lusala. I've been in the first Kenyan thriller on Netflix called 40 Sticks.
Wow.
I've done. Now I've acted. I've done Anti-Boss. I've done Zora.
You in Zora?
Yeah.
Hey.
Now I'm acting. You know.
It's amazing.
But it's taken. You see, it's taken like a whole. It's taken me like almost 18 years to be where I am today.
Yeah.
You know, and the grace of God, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's taken the grace of God to get me there.
Yeah. Wow.
What
a story.
I tell you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much for
welcome.
choosing to share this story with us.
Anytime, man.
Wow.
Anytime.
Hey.
You know. So.
Wow.
So, you're such a story.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get, you know.
I know, you still have questions. But now, this is where I am now.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's such a story. Yeah.
Now I've taken myself back to school, you know. Now I focused on a lot of things in my life. I had to deal with a lot of traumas that I had not dealt with when I was younger.
Yeah.
Self-esteem.
Yeah.
Self-esteem was my biggest trauma, Gwe. That was like my biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by now I'm it's still a work in progress. But pole pole.
Wow. It's really amazing.
Pole pole today.
I'm going to take you back
about
on football. Because you've only played for Wazito and Ingwe peke yake.
No, I played. So I even Sony. Wacha nikwambie story ya Sony Sugar.
Sony Sugar FC.
So when I was at Wazito, what happened is sometimes players go on loan. So if you're not getting enough play time where you are, you can opt to go to another team for playing time. Sasa mimi huyo na Virago nikaenda mahali inaitwa Awendo. Now what I didn't know was when you go to Sony, like Sony players when they are signed as employees of the company. Which means they work as employees of the company. And now the footballers are casual laborers.
What? You are used to, if you are a footballer, you are a footballer.
I'm used to, you're a footballer. You know? What? Asubuhi huyu mimi huwa na bag. Naenda kutrain. Hao wachezaji wengine nobody is carrying a bag. So me I'm wondering, I'm like, hey, kwani wewe bag iko wapi? Then they tell me, oh, naenda training. Don't worry. Yetu ndio hii iko tu, usijali. Tulikata miwa. Wow, tulikata. My hands can still attest. Tulikata miwa. Properly. Tulikata miwa. I was there for 6 months.
Yeah.
But that 6 months greatly shaped me because it taught me, it also demystified a lot of things that I thought were true. You know, because at some point I felt entitled to a lot, you know, especially in football.
Yeah.
So just going to a place where nobody again cares about you, but what you provide, you know. Yeah. Like what are you about? Okay, you're a footballer, so is everyone else. What do you have above them? What do you offer? Yeah. So it taught me that also what I offer is important.
Yeah.
You know. Hey, but but yeah, that's now where Luchamuzi is today. I'm still learning a lot.
Yeah.
I'm back in school properly now. Now I'm focusing in school.
Yeah. What are you doing in school?
Now in school I'm doing I finished a diploma in fitness and nutrition.
Wow.
I got a diploma. Hey.
Hey, congratulations.
I got a diploma. Lakini hawakunivalisha ile kofia ile ya kurusha juu. Lakini nanunua tu nijivalishe. But I got a diploma.
You got it.
Finally, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, my dream is to finish medicine. You know, my dream is to finish because I want to do emergency medicine.
Yeah.
For sports. Sasa ungo tunaenda pole pole.
Wow.
But yeah, and I'm also now I'm volunteering a lot. I'm volunteering for a company called Green Kenya as a community impact coach. You know. Yeah. Tutoe our watoto kwa hizi. Children have to understand that a lot of the social ills that are happening, they have a part. They can play a part in solving them.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Doing.
It's amazing.
Helping kids do, like being a mentor.
Yeah.
Because no one mentored me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sure.
But now I'm being mentored. No one mentored me then.
Yeah.
Lakini ni sawa tu. Tunapambana na hali yetu. Saa hizi.
Wow. Still amazing.
Yeah, man.
Such a story.
Bless.
Hey. Wow.
Sasa tuko hapa. Disclaimer, I am not a comedian. People should get this out of their head. Mukinipata huko nje, I am a very serious individual. I am not a I have an occasional laugh. Lakini tusizoeane. I'm not a comedian. Wewe nakwambia na bado unacheka.
All right. All right. Hey, to viewers, we are glad that you are watching this, and what a story. It's possible. A young man comes to Kenya as a child, knows no one, you know, no place to stay, no one to run to, and you can hear his story. Out of it all, you know, everything he has gone through, what a transformation. This is it. It's possible. Wherever you are, whatever challenges you are facing in this life, it's possible to come out of it and be of impact in our society. And much more, you know, to just allow Christ to transform your life and to live a life of purpose. Thank you for watching, and you know, just leave a comment down there, anything you need to say to us, you know, how this story has challenged you. Yeah, just let us know on the comment section down there. Asanteni sana.